Normally, I'm not a fan at all of custom instructions inside of ChatGPT, but I've been thinking outside of the box recently, and I actually found one for DALL-E that I think you're going to like. All right, so let's talk a little bit more. But before we get into it, if you don't already know, this is AI in 5. So every single day, we bring you a short little tutorial. And my name is Jordan Wilson. I run Everyday AI. We're a daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter helping everyday people learn and leverage AI. So let's look at this one kind of new use case that I really like for custom instructions. So all I'm doing here is it says, when creating new images inside of DALL-E, please always assign a unique identifier to each image so I can better identify it. And then I say, please make sure to use the same identifier, not to use the same identifier twice, and giving examples of how to use these. So it is currently enabled for new chats. So when I go into DALL-E, I'm just going to say, as an example, please, or I'm going to say just photo of Chicago Bears players celebrating inside Soldier Field. All right, so I'm from Chicago. I like the Bears, even though they kind of stink. So what's going to happen here? We're going to give oh, sorry. Here we go. So all I did is I went into DALL-E and I said photo of Chicago Bears players celebrating inside Soldier Field. And you'll see right here, custom instructions are on. So the downside is you can't turn them on and off per chat. It's just a system-wide or account-wide setting. So you always have to keep that in mind. But these custom instructions that I put right now are only going to affect DALL-E images. So if you've ever used all right, so we have it now. I'll explain a little bit more as we try to update these. So these photos aren't, I mean, these are actually pretty decent photos, right? You know, there are some things obviously wrong, but these are actually pretty good photos. You know, if you haven't used DALL-E 3 inside of ChatGPT yet, it's worth checking out. And as a reminder, you do need the $20 a month ChatGPT Plus subscription. So I'm going to go ahead and say redo image A1 and keep everything the same except make them wear white jerseys. Okay. So we're going to do some testing live. So this is something, if you've used Midjourney at all, this is something like working with seeds. So when you can take the seed and use that as a base, or even in Midjourney, you can upload a source file. So a source URL, and work with that as the base. And that's one thing I think people have been kind of missing in DALL-E so far, is not being able to get these like super consistent images. And I think using these custom instructions might be one way that you can get around that. So you'll see here. So it didn't get everything exactly right, but it got it pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead. And save these two photos, right? And we're going to do a little test. So now I'm going to open I'm going to turn off custom instructions, and then we're going to do the same thing. Okay. So we're going to run this same prompt in a new chat, in a new DALL-E chat, right? And then we're going to run the exact same response, you know, to, hey, keep everything the same except, you know, change the color of the jerseys. You know, we'll see if you know, it even gives us a similar enough photo to even run something like that. But we should get something where at least we can give a similar command and see how it does. All right, so this is interesting. Wow. Okay. I'm actually just curious that these second round of photos are bad, which is it's kind of beside the point, but that's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and try to do the same thing, but now without kind of um, that seed option. So we'll kind of compare it. So I'm gonna say redo I'm going to say the image on the left. So we'll see how it goes. So now it just says redo the image on the left because without that unique identifier, that's all I can really say is to redo the image on the left. So we'll see if it can actually take that context and give us a fairly similar photo. And I'm also just very curious why we started with some actually good, pretty good photos. And then we ended, we ran the exact same prompt and we got some pretty bad ones. So as a reminder, these were the first ones, which are really good and really accurate if you're a Bears fan. And then we got these ones, which these weren't good at all, not accurate. These very look cartoonish. This isn't really Soldier Field, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and you'll see now. Yeah, a lot of things are wrong here. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and download, and then let's just compare. Okay, so let's compare when we use this custom instructions, and let's try if we can. Let's try to look past the differences in quality, right? Let's just look at when we use the seed and how much of a difference it makes. So here is let's actually start with our original one. Give me a second here. Let me pull up our blue jersey first. Okay, there we go. So here is the original. And then by using the seed method or, the A1 via custom instructions, we said, hey, keep this the same and then just make everything white. So this is what it came up with. Pretty good. It kept everything pretty consistent. Okay. So now let's look at step 2 without using the custom instruction or the seed method. So again, if we can get over the fact that this is not accurate and it looks nothing like how it should. So this is one. And then when we ask for, hey, redo the image, here's what we get. So you can see there's a huge difference. Like, first of all, now they're soccer players. They're facing a different direction, a different roof, different setting almost altogether. Whereas this one, they're clearly at least football players. But everything else really about these is pretty different. So I hope this was helpful. So you can always try this trick by using custom instructions. And if this was helpful, let me know in the comments. But also, please go to youreverydayai.com. Sign up for that free daily newsletter. We do this every single day. And also, let me know what you think. Are you going to try this? Also, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you back for another AI in 5. Thanks, y'all.